So, good day, class. Welcome to our new session for today, um, particularly up to our arts subject. So, before let's start our new lesson. Let me share to you first our learning objectives. So, at the end of the lesson, the student should be able to identify the representative artists from neoclassical sculptures and architectures. Second, discuss the neoclassical sculptures and architectures. And the third is create an artwork about neoclassical sculptures and architecture. So, let's start. But first, let's proceed first to our activity, which identify the names and what type of artwork this, whether it's neoclassical sculptures or architecture. So basically guys, I want you to determine whether ang pinapakitang artwork nito ay sculpture or architecture. So okay, so our lesson for today is all about neoclassical sculpture and architecture. So siguro ngayon nyo lang narinig tong neoclassical and sculptures na to. So I want you to give your full attention sa lesson na to, kasi I want na after this lesson may matutunan kayo at may mai-apply kayo sa gagawin yung activity. Okay? Now, let's start. So, neoclassical sculpture. So, the neoclassical period was one of the great ages of public sculptures. Artists looked to Roman styles during the time of Alexander the Great for inspiration as well as to mimic their style. So, excuse me guys. So, neoclassical sculptors. So, first we have Antonio Canova. So when we say Antonio Canova was prolific Italian artist and sculptors who became the famous for his marble sculptures that delicately rendered nude fresh. So in 1757, Antonio Canova was born in Venetian Republic of Posagno. So originally from Venice Republic, Antonio Canova in 1757 to 1822 is considered to be the greatest neoclassical sculptors who work define the styles. So Antonio Canova he created numerous large-scale marble sculpture inspired by classical mythology with ideals, figures, and graceful composition. So, in particular, his sculpture are known for the polished finish, which Canova would spend weeks or even months polishing with a pumice stone. So, these are the example of the artworks of Canova, famous artwork. So, figure Venus Victrix in 1804 by Antonio Canova. So yan yung mga marble sculpture niya guys. So the next is the smooth contouring, the Awakening by Cupid Kiss in 1788. So the third is the life-size cycle Napoleon as a Mars, the Peacemaker in 1806. So guys, siguro meron sa inyo or baka meron sa inyo na nakakaalam na meron pang ibang mga maliban dito sa example na present ko sa mga artwork ni Canova. So basically si Antonio Canova ay napakagaling sa paggawa ng artworks, di ba? Tinagurian siyang as we go back, tinagurian siyang the greatest neoclassical sculptor in year 1757 to 1822. So, grabe. Ang galing. So, let's proceed to our next neoclassical sculptors. This is Thorvaldsen. So, Thorvaldsen was born in Copenhagen into working class Danish Icelandic family and was accepted to be the Royal Danish Academy at the age of 11. So, class, Thorvaldsen was the outstanding representative of the neoclassical period in sculpture. In fact, his work was often compared to Antonio Canova, and he became the foremost artist in held after Canova's death. So, kung si Antonio Canova is tinaguri ang the greatest sculptor in the year in the year 1757 to 1822. So naging next tinagurian na sumunod sa kanya na pinakamagaling or outstanding representative neoclassical sculptor ay si Bertel Thorvaldsen. So let me share to you the examples of the artwork or the sculptures of Thorvaldsen. So Christus and Lion in Lucerne. So, ito yung mga example ng artwork ni Thorvaldsen. So, let's proceed to the neoclassical architecture. Neoclassical architecture, revival of classical architecture during 18th to early 19th centuries. So, class, the movement concerned itself with the logic of entire classical volumes, unlike classical revivalism, Greek rivals, which tended to refuse classical parts. Neoclassical architecture is characterized by several features: grand scale, simple geometric forms, Greeks, especially Doric, and Roman detailed dramatic. So, column and blank walls. Its antique simplic was reaction to express the Rococo style. This itong nakikita nyo is the temple style of Palladian style and classical block style. So ito yung mga example ng mga neoclassical architecture natin, guys. So most famous temple style building of neoclassical architecture, Pantheon, Paris. So and the second is British Museum in London by Robert Smart. The third is the La Madeleine de Paris by Pierre Alexander Vignon. So ayan, guys, ang mga example ng mga neoclassical sculpture. Wait. Ang maaari pa natin maging example pala is yung White House sa US, 'di ba? Parang medyo neoclassical style ang medyo neoclassical architecture ang pagkaka-design ng kanilang White House, 'di ba? Kung sa yung mga nakakita, kung sino man na nakakita sa online or nakakita sa mga movie, ganun, 'di ba? So neoclassical sculptures. The neoclassical period was one of the great ages in public sculptures. Artists looked Roman styles during the time of Alexander the Great, inspiration to mimic style. So, question. So, ito ang question ko sa inyo, guys. I hope na mahanap nyo ang mga kasagutan nito or na nakinig kayo mabuti para may natutunan naman kayo for today's lesson. So ito yung 3 question ko. So who was Antonio Canova? Second is what was Antonio Canova known for? And the third is what are the 3 main variation of neoclassical architecture? So for your activity. So guys, this must be done. Dapat ito ay face-to-face sana, but dahil sa sobrang init ng panahon, tinapat tayo sa online. Kaya by group, gagawin ko na lang tong by group, and I will send the list of names by group sa ating GC na lang. So Let me read the direction. Identify whose artwork, sculpture, or architecture this picture under neoclassical period that will flash on the screen. So, um, wala yung mga picture guys, but you can use your phones to browse or to search about these artworks. So guys, please pass your output to our GC. And that's all. I hope you learned something for today's lesson, and I hope you enjoy. Goodbye.